Arch, the other team that we really have to talk about is Kentucky, because we're on the SEC right now. And if you watch them against Vanderbilt and you've been watching them, they're getting better. And what Oscar is doing as a college basketball player, when is the last time that's been done? I mean,
I don't believe I don't think anybody's averaged 15 and 15 for a season. I don't know if it's been done, but I know it's not been done in a while. And he's averaging almost 17 and 15 rebounds a game. That's crazy.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, DeAndre Ayton was, in my mind, the most amazing physical specimen that I had seen during my time in college as a coach. And he averaged over 12 rebounds a game, between 12 and 13. To average 15 plus rebounds, if that holds, I mean, it's just amazing to think about it. And then I think the next point, he's doing it in the SEC conference right now, arguably the most talented and athletic conference in the country, right? I've talked about the Big 12 and the SEC a lot, but to be able to rebound like he's doing, and his efficiency, and he's scoring, and TyTy and him, when you watch Kentucky really take off, they usually have that 1-2 punch, Arch, the one perimeter player. And I know sometimes more than one, but that one perimeter player, when the game is on the line, that they put the ball in his hands, and then his buddy, his partner. And it's like, and this partner can score at the rim, can score on lobs, they can play the two-man game. And if you watch Oscar and TyTy as they're starting to develop that chemistry, right? And that's even when Wheeler is playing, you have two great players in college that are in that two-man game. And Kentucky is becoming more and more organized and efficient. And to me, they're trending in a real positive way right now. You asked that question, John, would you buy them? Would you sell them, right? You want to hold serve? I would buy Kentucky based on the improvement that they're making almost weekly. And I think they're playing with a lot of confidence right now.
Yeah, I agree with you on Kentucky. The one silver lining all the time, John, when somebody gets injured or you lose a player, and the next thing you know, you have to insert or move some guys around. And what's happened is the ball's back in TyTy's hand a lot more right now. And he's a much different player than he was when we opened the season, and he had the ball in his hands when they were playing Duke. I think the second thing about Oscar is the rebounding is incredible. What's going a little bit under the radar is he's putting some points on the board for those guys. I mean, he had 30 tonight, and I believe he was at 20 some against Georgia at home. I mean, he's not getting like 5 points and 12 rebounds. He's getting 30 and 13.
The number 2 rated offensive player. And, sometimes you got to be careful doing it too early, but you get into mid-January, late January, when everybody has played conference games now, numbers mean more. But he's the number 2 rated offensive player on Ken Palm in college basketball. Oscar is. I mean, to your point right now, Arch, from 2, he's 111 for 177, 63%. And he makes free throws. He's shooting 73% from the free throw line as well. When you factor in his offense, he's an All-American, right? I mean, that he's playing at an All-American level. And right now, based on the talent in the SEC, you better have a couple guys out there that you can say that about if you're going to compete for the SEC championship.
Here's my take on just my thought process on them is, for Oscar Tshiebwe to be that good. And by the way, the only guy that comes close to him in the sport right now actually plays for Utah Valley, Fardaws Aimaq, who's been around for a while. He's averaging 19 and 14 this year, which is impressive. It's not Kentucky, though. But my thought process with them is, guys, it's amazing that Oscar Tshiebwe is doing this. It's not like he has a Robin in the front court, another guy that he could play off of.
It's a great point.
Right?
That's a great point. And he's a one-man band. If Oscar fouls like he did in the LSU game changes in a big way. They can't have him off of the floor. But you're right. He doesn't have a front court combo guy, a 4 who can really space it, or is a 1-2 punch on the blocks with him. I would say the biggest weakness of Kentucky is they don't have another front court player that can give them anything that they can count on. That's the thing they're missing. Sometimes it's Keon Brooks, sometimes it's Toppin a little bit. Collins, he's not ready yet. And I think the difference is in Kentucky, what's going to sell them short, there's going to be games when Oscar fouls, and he has to sit. And until Kentucky can develop a little bit more of a bench and get some more productivity from their fours, they're going to struggle in some of those games when he's not on the floor. But you're right, he is a one-man band down there. And it's been really impressive where Kentucky's gone in the last month. I mean, to be honest with you, I thought when Wheeler went down, they could struggle here, as soon as he went down, because he's handled the ball so much. I mean, he leads the SEC in assists. And TyTy and Mintz both have really stepped up and played well. And Grady continues to shoot threes for him. So they're doing a nice job. They got Tennessee, if I'm not mistaken, coming up this weekend. And that will be a huge, huge game in Rupp.
Hey, John and Arch, the other thing is, don't underestimate TyTy Washington. He is the truth. I mean, he's a really, really good player. I mean, he had 17 assists the other night in a conference game. I mean, he can pass it. He can score. He can get to the basket. He's big and physical. He is a very good three-point shooter. He can knock them down. And I think the other part to not take for granted is, although he's a freshman, he's more of a battle-tested freshman, and he's the perfect player for Cal. When you talk about a toughness and inner toughness, and I think that Cal has always loves players that play in his program that have that, where he doesn't need to just be the engine to get them going. They kind of inherently have it already. Those are the great players that I think really thrive playing for him at Kentucky. TyTy is that player. He has an inherent toughness. And when he walks out on the court, he has a belief in himself. And for a freshman, for somebody that's 19, 20 years old right now, there aren't too many point guards in America that are better than him. And I know when he plays with Wheeler, sometimes, we call him the off guard, but Kentucky plays with those 2 point guards. And we've talked about that as the season progresses and you get into March, having 2 of those guys will really be to Kentucky's advantage.